and welcome. Today I would like to talk about boundaries. A boundary is really a line that we should not cross, or rather not allow anyone else to cross. Having good internal boundaries protects us and allows our feelings and wishes to be honored. Sometimes when we grow up, our parents, for whatever reasons, do not respect our boundaries, and this presents in adults as either too flexible boundaries or very rigid boundaries. Rigid boundaries, it's sort of very polarized black or white view of the world. It either fits in with you or it doesn't. In cases like this, some psychological flexibility would be quite useful and would make life a lot easier. Sometimes too flexible boundaries are even more problematic because you often say yes when you really mean no, or rather you want to say no but you do not know how. And often you end up in situations, whether it is in a family situation, romantic situation and work situation, when you agree to all sorts of things which you really don't want to do. Example of boundaries are physical boundaries. So for example, you can exercise a physical boundary by removing yourself from a situation. In my type of work, I often say to clients, there are situations which, especially in a family, where we do not have the power to change people. However, when things become uncomfortable or unpleasant for us, we have the power to remove ourselves. So here's an example of exercising a physical boundary. Other boundaries are time boundaries, so setting time limit on how much time we, for example, spend with our social circle when we have work projects to do, so we are able to prioritize and just navigate that terrain successfully. So we feel like like life is working for us, not against us. Other boundaries are, of course, money boundaries, being able to say no if we do not want to give money, or sexual, spiritual or mental boundaries. We all have like a story of ourselves, so it's really useful to examine who am I? What is my story in relationship to boundaries? Are my boundaries too flexible and I feel that they're being violated all the time, or am I too rigid and perhaps I'm missing out on life? Well, this is your story, your life, and you can do an edit. So consider your boundaries and perhaps redefine them in a more positive way. Thank you for listening.